Yeah.
What game is this on right now?
This is the Clippers and 76ers. And
Who's
Kawhi
winning?
just threw it.
Who's winning?
Philly.
This nigga's like,
I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here, man.
Interrupt this program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
Welcome to episode 6 of Unofficial Experts.
Bix.
Six.
And I appreciate,
6 guys with us.
we appreciate everybody for watching,
Facts.
Everybody.
Love.
You're welcome.
you know?
It's a fact.
So what's going on with y'all today? What's up? How y'all feeling? What's on your mind?
I'll tell you what, last night, and it's, I'm running through all my stuff that I see. I'm not I don't have a media, but I'm always on the media. You know what I mean? You feel me?
It's like you inside
I'm connected, but I'm disconnected.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
see you, but you don't see
Right,
me.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
One-way phone call. So I see the Drake joint pop up, and I said, "Yo, my man Hov, big time Drake fan.
Facts.
Even before he listens to it, he's gonna love it. But I listened to it, and I loved it.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
He was really talking.
I liked
He
it.
walked on that.
Yeah.
Walk.
I messed with it hard.
That's a walk.
What was the bar? He said, "I'm gonna tell you what you feel like the
The
weatherman."
Yeah. Nah, that other ball was like, I'm going right, but my watch is on my left.
On the
Yeah,
other
watches
hand,
on the other hand.
My
Yeah.
watch is on the other hand.
Oh, he was
Yeah, he.
spitting.
But now we know where those videos and those memes came from
Yeah,
earlier
of
with
him
the.
and, like,
if you didn't
going
know,
like, watching his back. And all that
But see,
shit.
that's the thing. People, they over exaggerate like him watching it. I mean, it did look funny the way he was doing it, but that's just him. He likes that profile. I'm gonna rap to the side. You know,
Hey,
to the
man.
side team.
Yeah.
Side team.
My profile thing.
I don't know, but it's really looking like he might be coming out with like another project.
Yeah,
It's definitely looking.
You've been dropping like pretty rapid for
Yeah.
someone his.
And
consistent since, like,
honestly,
Christmas
he only
or New
dropped
Year's.
one thing on iTunes, and the rest that he's been dropping been on SoundCloud. Everything else. been on-
Yeah, I mean, well, now we know why he had to drop on
Yeah,
SoundCloud.
we know why.
for
Yeah,
especially these
for
two
the-
joints.
Yeah.
The vultures out there.
Why the Desires joint with Future? Why that was on
Well,
SoundCloud? I don't
that
know.
was leaked, right?
That was a leak.
Yeah,
that was a leak. But
leak.
these two are
So,
like.
Yeah, like he dropped them because he did a video and all that. And
Yeah.
the video's actually fire too.
Yeah,
if you get a
facts.
chance to watch that.
And
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
like
on the search for whoever did the hook on Chicago Freestyle.
Chicago
Yeah,
freestyle.
I thought
is
it
crazy.
sounded like Future to me at first, but yeah, you're
Nah,
probably right. It
I'm
might
still
not
in the
be.
search for that. So probably obviously by the time y'all see this, I will know who that person was.
Shit, it's probably that same dude that
Probably
was
Don
on,
Toliver.
Yeah, Don Toliver. It's probably Don Toliver on
Somebody
that.
man, walked on that. Drake said, "Yo, let me get that."
Yeah, man. Cause honestly, right now, the only thing that I know that's like out right now is like Uzi. G Herbo came out with
G Herbo dropped the project.
Yeah.
Lil Baby dropped the
Yeah,
project.
Baby dropped the project. I didn't listen to G Herbo's things, but I've been hearing that it's actually alright. Like it's actually fire.
He's one of those Chicago rappers from the drill scene that actually could spit bars. He got bars.
He can spit. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
not
He
like a
has his
Chief
moments.
Keef.
You know.
Those anthem
Yeah,
rappers.
T.
yeah.
Smear or something.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite
He was the
freestyle
one that
videos
came.
of all
That
time.
was G Herbo with the Millie Rock. Shout out Millie Rock on any block.
Nah, was it?
that-
Nah, that was just a freestyle.
Yeah, that was
video.
just
Oh, that was just a freestyle?
Yeah, nah,
I thought
he
that
was
was his
wildin'.
song.
He was just like this.
Yeah, okay.
And then he had his man's next to him like
yeah, just rocking with him.
just
like-
rocking with him.
You know,
That's one of my favorite videos.
he's engaged to like a famous, like an athlete's daughter or something like that.
Nah, he's
Or a
with
famous person's
he's
daughter,
with
right?
Fab's.
He's with
Fab's
Fab's
daughter.
daughter,
Yes,
yeah.
not an athlete, a rapper.
Fab's
yes.
daughter.
That's
oh,
what
so
it is.
he's
The oldest
straight.
one.
Yeah.
He's straight then, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Facts,
Nah,
facts.
he's with
straight,
Fab's
he's
daughter. That
straight, he's
surprised me
straight.
when I saw
He be
that.
with
I
Fab
was
all
like,
the
all right.
time though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's a great connection. Like,
I
that's a
mean,
fact.
that's
That's a fact.
that's a
Fabulous
great
is your father-in-law.
connection. Yeah, I mean, he gonna put you in the right places that you need to
He'll
be.
give you features for
Yeah.
Christmas
You
gifts.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I'm on your album. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Who do you want to feature with?
Nah, yeah, especially whatever plugs Fab got, because
Yeah.
Fab's still connected to the youth too,
Yeah.
which is just
But right now, son, I feel like the game needs bars, like so. And that's why Drake came out with that,
could
because
be.
I think he's been feeling that type of way too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
it's coming back though, cause you know, like a rapper like Benny the Butcher. Benny the
Yeah.
Butcher, like
That whole
people,
movement.
yeah, like
That-
niggas
that-
wouldn't be
that
feeling
whole
that like
movement is crazy.
4 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. It would have been hard for Benny to
Yeah.
be as big as he is now. But like lyrics are getting more. They're coming back. It's like a zombie.
You know what's coming too is New York drill music.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
No, it is. It is.
that's here now.
Yeah. Rest in peace of Pop Smoke.
Yeah, recipe
You know,
pop.
because
Yo,
he was at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
But
Rest
You
in
know what I
peace,
mean?
Pop.
definitely like it's a whole vibe down
Yeah.
there right
It's
now.
a
No,
real
it
vibe.
is. It is. And to be honest with you, bro, the reason why because I like the New York drill shit. I never like none of the other drill music. Except like
It's
maybe
home.
the London drill music, like some of that is
Yo,
fire.
my
Yeah,
son
Skepta, man.
some of that is
Skepta.
fire.
That's just first off. Yeah, wait. Quick pause.
Go
I don't know
ahead,
if
go
y'all
ahead.
even know. You know, Top Boy is coming back.
Oh nah, bro. I didn't even know that
Top
shit.
Boy's coming back.
I ain't
Drake
even
Just
know
posted
that
delivered
it.
mail to me,
Yes,
bro.
yes.
Thank you.
Like
That's crazy.
The postman does
Malone,
deliver
nigga.
on Sundays.
Man's
Anyway,
need peas,
we
man.
got
Yes.
them peas, fam.
Yes,
Peace,
you get
fam.
me,
Getting off this food.
isn't it?
This food.
We
Pussy.
need this pussy.
Yo,
Yo.
I love that
coming
show,
back.
bro.
It is
Shout out
coming
Top
back.
Boy,
Oh my
man. Top
God.
Boy-
That's my shit.
Top Boy's a crazy show.
Cause even the older episodes are fire too. So yeah, that the London drill stuff I kind of like sometimes. Cause
And
they
that's
even
where
had,
I heard a lot of that shit
Yeah,
too.
nah,
That would
facts,
make me look
yeah,
because
yeah.
oh
like
my god, bro, they
it's
yeah,
authentic. Like
Yeah,
he's
it's
using
real
their
authentic.
music
It's
over
real
there.
authentic.
yeah, it was
So-
fire. You know what I mean? And I like
Yeah.
the New York ones too, just for the simple fact that New York is known for lyrics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
New York is like the birthplace of hip hop. Da 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 da. It's known for the best lyrics. Da, da, da,
Mecca.
and all of that. And so you figure drill music with its beats going along with New York rappers, even if they're not the greatest rappers like the Bobby Shmurdas and Pop Smokes
Yeah.
and stuff, they still have better lyrics than a bad rapper. A bad rapper from New York is better than a bad rapper from California to me. You know what I mean? Just because bars are so
Yeah,
important
talk your
in New
shit.
York. You know what I mean? A
Home
bad
team.
rapper from New York to me would be better than a bad rapper from like
Depends on who you
Florida.
run into. That's
or
my,
something.
That's my thing.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like,
No,
you know
it
what I'm
does.
saying?
You can get hit with it in the right
'Cause there's
situation,
rappers
obviously.
From down south that you'll be like, what? He's from down south?
Yeah, 3 stacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yo, three stacks. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Nah,
even,
That's
Top
true.
of the food
there's
chain.
even
It's
new
true.
rappers like Jid. Like you, I
Oh,
didn't-
yeah.
I would never expect that
Jiddy
he was
Jid.
from that he was from down south, like Atlanta. I thought he was from.
But I wouldn't
California.
consider him a bad rapper, though.
That's
You know what I
another-
mean?
No,
That's
I'm not-
another
I'm- I'm
package.
not
That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, I'm just saying.
because
like,
to
there's
me,
people
don't
from
get
all
don't get
over.
it twisted. But like rappers, like Tekashi wasn't a great lyricist to me, right? He was more of that drill. Even Pop Smoke, he wasn't really putting bars together. He was just more on a yeah,
Yeah.
let's get it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It
Like
was just a
it's more of a
feeling, though.
vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
more of a
yeah.
vibe
Feeling,
than
bro.
actually
It's
lyrics and
energy.
bars. And so that's why I said
Yeah.
I enjoy listening to the New York drill
That
music
shit
for
is
that
straight
reason.
energy, bro.
Yeah,
you have
nah,
no
it is.
you have no choice but
It
to
is.
move when that shit come on.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
it,
fact.
but that's powerful though. That's
Right.
why it does what it does. Is
Exactly. I
Yeah,
mess
man,
with
music
it.
is powerful.
if if you're not gonna captivate someone's like mind, you gotta captivate something else. And that's
Emotion,
what
yeah,
it is.
some
That's
other
what a lot of
emotion, yeah.
people-
energy
You know,
is just
a lot of people wake up to their favorite songs. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, go to the gym and just go crazy in the
Yeah,
gym because
facts.
they're listening to their workout playlist or whatever the case is. You know what I mean?
And I was looking for that damn movie I told you about. Remember the movie I was just telling you about with Benny the Butcher and Conway in it?
Yeah,
But it's like some wild, like this looks like some real.
this is like a BET movie.
Like, yeah, worse than that though. It looks like a
What is
YouTube movie. You know how YouTube has like its series that they come.
Oh,
It looks like a
yeah.
YouTube series, bro. It's like shot, but Benny the Butcher and Conway are in it, like as characters.
That's hard.
Yeah, like yo, it's so funny,
They
man.
probably I think they said
you
that
know
they
what
were
I'm
doing
saying?
like a production
At
thing
the,
too.
at the end of the day, you know the hood is gonna watch that.
Of course, you
know
got
pe-
to.
you
I'ma
know-
watch it.
You know we gonna support it.
We got,
You know what I'm saying?
we got to.
You know we gonna support it. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Conway's
how
in
we
it,
supported
too.
Paper Soldiers with Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? That was Kevin Hart's first movie.
It's called Conflicted.
You know what I mean?
It's called Conflicted. Conway's like a Don in it. Comes out of the Bentley. Hey yo.
Hey yo.
It looks like a YouTube movie, right? This is funny to me. Tell homie to watch himself, cuz. Okay. I already thought that, bro. I am mad. Bad acting. And let me know when those niggas are at the spot, OG.
That's in his face. Oh my god.
See this shit? Yo.
Yeah. Yo.
Hey, yo.
Oh yeah.
Is that Conway? Executive produced by Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher's producing movies now. I think I would rather hear him rap. You got family out here, bro. This is serious. You cannot go back to your ways, brother.
Damn, you not fucking with it?
You not fucking with it.
Crazy.
Bro. You not
They're
fucking
better
with
than
it.
this. They're better than this.
Look,
I don't
man.
know.
Yo, listen.
I respect it, man.
At the end
I
of
respect
the
the
day-
attempt.
I respect it.
yeah, listen.
We gonna take a glimpse at it. You know what I'm saying?
I respect the attempt.
Let me put all things in its
At the end of
context.
the
There's-
day, we
if
gonna
there-
take a glimpse at it, man.
He's a bag chasers. You're bag chasers.
Yeah, no,
They-
maybe
I mean,
there is
they
a bag.
Listen, they
that
got their
that
foot in the door, right? Like they're attending breakfast. You know what I'm saying?
The-
Rock
the-
Nation
the Rock-
breakfast thing. You
the,
know
the
what I'm
Rock
saying? Brunches,
and
whatever the case
let me
is.
sidebar real quick and talk about
Right.
that Rock Nation brunch. That Rock Nation brunch is looked at, and this is something that Jay-Z, mastermind. He puts
Yeah.
these things together where he plays off of just emotion and lore and all kind of other things, right? That Rock Nation brunch. It's known if you're at the Rock Nation brunch that you're a somebody in the music
Yeah,
industry.
fact.
Yeah,
That's what
That-
that Rock Nation brunch
Bro,
has become
that
now.
means you're on
Watch
his
this.
radar.
it's Jay. It's
And he
Jay's
controls
people
it.
That's on his
He's
radar.
like a, you know what I
It's Jay
mean?
to watch who's
But
on his radar.
That's what that
It's-
Rock
it's-
Nation
it's
brunch has
right in there.
become.
Yeah,
That's
like-
become like
You know
a
what I mean?
who's who in the music industry. And that's why cameras are limited. It's secretive. People got to fucking drive an hour away and park their car and then get picked up on some blindfold
facts.
shit. You know what I mean? And get driven to the location. Like it's ultra.
Facts.
He puts it on a different level. That's why I'm talking about the Rock Nation brunch show, just for the sidebar for that. But they are chasing a bag, him and
Yeah.
Benny and Conway and
I
all
mean,
of
they
them.
got like I said.
just-
they-
I'm
they-
not a
they got
fan,
their
you
foot in
know.
the door, so they-
I'm-
so they
I don't know if I can
Tony
watch
Montana.
that movie.
With the what did he do? Production agency, travel
Yo.
agency,
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, nah.
As soon as he got his foot in the door, my son was moving.
moving, bro.
It
So,
was
you know,
funny to
But
watch the
sometimes
acting on
it's
that
a little
shit.
too fast. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't shoot off the same cameras we shooting this podcast with and do a movie.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Don't test me,
You know what I'm
brother.
saying?
I am at my limit.
Like, oh man, it's just another level. It's just another level.
Yeah, like the acting was just terrible, you know.
Yeah,
It
man.
was
I
wild.
respect-
Hopefully they get their shit
Yeah,
together.
I respect the attempt, man.
I mean, maybe if they make a part 2, they gonna have somebody to catch their interest and be like, I see where you going with it, and get an actual.
Yeah,
Well, bro, but
whatever
you gotta
the case
you gotta
is.
think too. Some of our favorite hood classics, people probably look at the same way. Like
The
look
pre-
at the terrible acting
Yeah,
that we love, bro. They're the
Yeah.
movies we love.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
I,
You're right.
yeah.
I don't know if I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
bro, Baby Boy, that shit was on the BET
But that- nah,
all the
but-
time.
right?
Bro,
But that's a great movie though, bro. 'Cause John Singleton, those are real Hollywood productions.
I know, but I'm saying
this is like a YouTube movie, you know. That's why it's
I
different.
respect the attempt.
Nah,
though, like,
definitely,
to
definitely.
try and
Yeah,
recreate
and that's why I said-
that.
It's like
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
to
I
right.
get- I
Nah,
get what
definitely.
you're trying to
They
say.
had a they have a vision. They had a vision. They put it on a and they made a movie. And that you're right. It to
Yeah,
even
yeah.
do it and get it done is it's called Conflicted. It comes out probably sometime in the next month. I'm no part of it. I
Shout
was
out to
hating on
Zelda,
it,
man.
but they're doing it. You know, I give
Shout
it to
him
them.
out.
You know, yeah.
Shout him
Ah,
out.
you got
Uncle
to.
Zelda.
You got to. I fucks with him. Hey yo, hey yo.
You know.
Yo,
But I mean, I do bump them though. You know.
Nah, yeah, of
you
course.
Know, their music is fire.
it's New York.
You
first
know,
and
I
foremost.
bump them especially when I'm in the whip. Like
It's
I
the home
put on
team,
some
man.
West Side, and if I'm in a mood, if I'm in a New York mood,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you have to get active.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. Some especially when it be cold out here. You know, everybody's
It get
mad
cold
in
out.
New York when it's cold.
Yeah, it's brick
You know what I'm
outside
saying?
right now.
People
like currently,
in the city gotta walk.
It become normal
You know,
to people who
I
live here
don't-
too.
we
That's
don't
the
live in the
crazy
city,
part.
we're
but-
immune to it.
Yeah,
We're
it's
just,
like
Yeah,
normal.
we're just immune to
Like
that.
we
Wake up
feel
cold,
it. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong, we feel it, but we're
we're
immune
angry
to it.
now.
Like
But it's so strange too, because you look at like this is just on some real different shit. Talking about like how people develop and like evolution. Like you know how in Alaska the Inuits over there
Oh,
they
well,
have
yeah.
small eyes because of the snow. Over time their eyes have all become like that just to
Yeah.
adapt to your
Yeah, yeah.
surroundings. The cold and warm weather affects things also. They say like Vikings, right?
Mhm.
They were from the north. It was colder weather up there. That's why the pine trees grow so tall, because in a cold environment, you want to grow as, you know, like if you put a flower down and it leans towards the sun, wherever the sun is, you'll see the flower like lean in that direction. The same thing with people. They grow towards the sun in a cold environment. That's why Vikings were so tall and everything when they say, because they come from that environment where they grow towards the sun. You know what I mean? It's like a tree. It's
Yeah.
like we're animals at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that's just how evolution is. It's wild. And so depending on where you go be from, the certain thing, you know, that's why they say like, you know,
bro, I'm a Viking.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Has to go
You
to
might
Vikings.
have
I'm a
some of that
Viking.
in
if
you.
You're over
You never
six-
know.
If you're over 6 feet, you're
You got
technically
that
a
blood
Viking.
in you.
You're
You
technically
got
a
that
Viking.
blood in you. They say still
You
to
know.
this day, bro. You know, you heard of Genghis Khan before,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
When he was going through, you know, raping and pillaging and plundering the whole world, they say he like raped so many women that still to this day,
He got seedlings.
there's like 1.5% of the whole Earth's population has his gene or
They
DNA.
say that about
part of it.
Bob Marley too.
And Wilt Chamberlain, they said it about Wilt Chamberlain
Yeah,
too.
they say that about a lot of people.
But nah, yeah, Genghis Khan, bro. Still to this day, he's got like, and this
Damn.
nigga lived like 1,000 years ago, you
Yeah.
know, and he's got genes running around.
Well,
Fucking
what
wild.
genetics
Genetics
you
are
think
crazy.
What genetics you think that Giannis got that James Harden's mad about?
Yeah, Giannis is related to. He's related to.
upset.
Like, yeah, he's mad that he's
upset.
he's smaller and
He's
shorter.
kind of mad.
He
you
said,
know?
"Yo, Rachel, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
nah,
know,
it's a
I
fact.
want to do
bro.
an interview."
You know, but that whole thing right there, man, is like.
Bro, it was.
I understand where James Harden is coming from. I think that he's coming from the point of he felt like he should have more MVPs than he should
I
have, and
think
then
like that's what it all comes down
Yeah,
to.
But when you're
that's
thinking
what it all
Kobe
comes
only
down
had
to.
one, nobody should ever complain about anything. Just
But-
keep that in the back of
Yeah, but,
everybody's
you know,
head.
he's
Kobe
not-
only
he's
has
not
one.
Kobe and everybody. You know,
Right,
makes-
exactly,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
So stop
So if Kobe
complaining.
only got one, then shut your mouth. You know, that's what I'm saying.
That's Bean.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. That's the thing about it. He's complaining. You're right. He sounds like a little girl. He goes on Rachel Nichols' The Jump, and he's talking. He wants to. You're right. He held an interview about it, bro.
Yeah, he held a whole.
That's emotion. He feels very strongly
Well, no,
about
well,
that situation.
This is what he did. Like, you know, he felt some type of way when all she asked was like, "Oh, you know what Giannis did? You know, didn't really pick you on his team and for the All-Star thing." Like, he could have just been like, "Oh,
Yeah, he
you
coulda
know,
just
do it all."
downplayed it.
But he really felt some type of way where he had
Right.
to really dig into it. Like, yeah, he's not more talented than me. I could be 7 feet tall and just dunk the basketball too. That's not skill. I have skill. Which in every single right, he's more skilled than Giannis.
Yes.
We all know that.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know.
fact.
But it's like, you know, somebody that's nice that has to always get that recognition when everybody knows that you're nice.
Yeah.
But he keeps on asking for it and asking for it. And,
Well, no.
I
think
no, but I get it though. I get why he. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he feels it's all about the MVPs. And when Steph Curry got his back-to-back, it was just a historic.
Yeah, but
year,
don't feed
got that.
don't feed a narrative about someone else.
Yeah,
when
like
your whole thing is there's been a narrative
Yeah,
painted about you.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And-
Like
and
he
it's been-
just fed into
there's
the
a
whole
pass between-
he's 7 feet, he's not skilled. Bro,
Right, but there's a pass,
I want
like,
people
you
to
see- we
I
saw
want
the
people to
video.
realize this: the taller you get, the less coordinated you are.
Yeah.
Period.
that's
I don't
why
care
taller.
what,
It's the taller you are, the harder it is to shoot free throws.
the
they
taller
say.
you are, the less
Yeah.
like coordination your body has. It's just
Yeah.
so much bigger, longer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of body to maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
So for the fact that Giannis is 7 feet tall and does what he does, you can't sit here and tell me he's not skilled. That takes skill. He's a
Yeah.
7-footer.
Yeah.
That's the tallest it gets.
No, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So-
Dribble and move.
To be able
Yeah,
to
like,
dribble,
you
cut,
know,
move.
Yeah.
no, definitely. I mean, his handle can get better, and I'm sure it
No,
will
yeah,
as
there's
time
always
goes
room
on.
for
Because look
Yeah.
at all right, so the prime example of a great 7-footer is Kevin Durant. Like
Yes.
Giannis wants to be Kevin Durant.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So but he's not there yet. And I bet you it would be different if the conversation was Kevin Durant. I bet you James Harden would
But
give Kevin Durant
You
all
want to
the
know?
credit
You want
in
to
the
know?
world.
Your conversation about Wilt helped me even furthermore back Giannis in the sense where why do I need to change my game to appease people?
Right.
If me going to
Right.
the basket,
Yeah.
which no one on planet Earth could stop me to do,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
is
why.
working, why would I not
Yeah,
do
why
that?
would I not
And
do
and that's why the Kevin Durant thing, I wouldn't say. You know what I don't feel like he wants to be Kevin Durant. I mean, he is shooting more,
No, I'm not
which is
saying that
Kevin
he
Durant
wants to
like.
be-
But I feel like Kevin Durant relies on his jump shot too much, and he settles for it
Yeah,
too
but
much
don't get it
because
twisted.
it goes in and
His
it's an
back-
easy
his-
shot.
His plan B is I'm gonna take you to the Baja.
I just
And
would-
you,
right.
You can't stop me.
Nah, yeah.
I'm 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
I can do it, and that's the thing.
But he
like-
doesn't go to Plan B, a lot. That's my only problem with
Yeah,
KD.
but,
You
alright,
know,
so-
like
but
KD
at-
would listen.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, James Harden's mad.
But like
you know
in
what
in
I'm
that
saying?
sense,
Right.
like KD,
Giannis-
like Giannis going to the rack is damn near a guaranteed bucket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So is KD shooting the ball.
Yeah.
and that's why
Like,
James
He
Harden
puts the work
Yeah.
in for it to be that.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It
Plus
was just a
having this
bad
natural
move.
ability where
It was a bad move for him to go on and talk about it on the jump, bro.
Like
it was
I
a
said,
bad
he
move
was
because he
just-
looks like a crybaby now.
He was comparing himself, and more so, you know what I'm saying, comparing him to Giannis in that Rachel Nichols
Niggas have
interview.
been. I don't know. Something's been in the water lately, bro. You hear Deontay making up excuses about his suit, and this now you see James pulling on some low hanging fruit, and he's 7 feet tall. If I was 7 feet, I would do. Like athletes, bro, doing that. Professional athletes. It's so
Yeah, but, like,
childish to me,
James
bro.
Harden's not like, Deontay took a L and then he
Yeah.
tried to say, "Oh, I had a costume on," and
I think
it was
James
40
Harden's
pounds,
saying that
like-
if he was 7 foot tall, he would have won MVP. Like he took an L in the MVP race, and that's what he's kind of talking about too.
I feel
You
like
know
it
what
was
I
more
mean?
narrative with
Yeah.
like they painted they. It's essentially the same shit that they painted Kobe with, that he's selfish.
Yeah.
Harden is an ISO player. He always has the ball in his hand. He's gonna take a lot of shots. He's gonna.
That's why Russie helps him out a
But
lot
at
though,
the
because
end of the
Russie's so
day-
selfish
But
that he
that's
makes him
what
look
held
normal.
Kobe back from MVPs is the narrative. Look at who
Yeah.
won those MVPs
Yeah.
certain years that Kobe didn't. When Kobe was averaging 35 points a game, Steve Nash
Bro.
won it
Yeah.
because of what? A narrative.
Crazy.
Kobe's selfish. He don't pass the ball.
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Kobe's
Yeah.
field goal
Double-
percentage never helped him out though.
It didn't.
You know,
but still.
he shot. He didn't shoot a great
45%.
percentage on a great year. There's some years where he was in the
shot
high
45%
30s.
for his career.
Right, but I'm talking about there's some years where he was in the high 30s. Allen Iverson was like that too. You know, back in that era, it was high volume.
But
one
you
man-
gotta think for
one
every
man
year
team
that he
shooting,
was averaging
you know?
high 30s, he must have averaged high
high
40s.
percentage. Yeah,
50s.
exactly.
Kwame Brown.
Those years where he had great, because you
Great
think
players.
Kobe was putting it up 25 times a night, every night, regardless.
Yeah.
So you're right. The years he shot better field goal percentage was the years he averaged more points. Absolutely.
Facts. And those are the years that he should have won MVP.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
and,
that-
and like, but
but-
how you said to start the whole thing.
Yeah.
If Bean only got one MVP, come on.
But you have to. But I'm gonna bring it back to like you, like in James Harden's mind, like he's thinking like, yo, when I was damn near putting up 40, averaging 40 a game, Stephen Curry just had a historic season with the 73-9, and he got the MVP. The year after, he was damn near averaging a triple double too, but and more points than Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook did something nobody has seen, which was average a solid triple double.
Yeah.
Not
since Oscar Robertson.
You know what I'm saying? So those years, you could say that he should have won it too, because he was like almost putting up 40 a night. Once
Yeah,
Stephen
but
Curry
look,
got his
some
back-to-back.
things. Some performances just whether
needs
that
to be
be
rewarded.
like he averaged.
Yeah.
If I don't, all right, you average more points, but he did the triple double. Sorry,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like some shit, you got to
Right.
tip the cap to that. 'Cause
Exactly.
But
It is
by
that
one
little
rebound, though,
Yeah.
or 2 rebounds, like it wasn't even like that crazy. So like that's why I feel like when it came down to the Russell Westbrook, they strictly just gave it up to him because he strictly just got a triple double for the whole season. Like meanwhile, James Harden almost had one and averaged more points on top of that. Probably had almost the same amount of rebounds.
But it also goes to this.
just
What do you reward more? A team going into a season, do you reward the best player on a team that starts bad, rides bad for a decent amount of time in the season, and then flips the switch, turns it around, or do you credit more the guy that goes into the season and from jump was the best team in the league all year from start to finish?
Yeah, no, you got to give the second team who has their shit together from the start. You have to give it to them. I feel,
and that's what I think was the separating
Yeah.
thing between Giannis and James in the one where he feels he got robbed in. From start to finish, the Bucks and
Giannis is
were
playing
at
in
that-
the East though, and if you're in the East, you inherently have a weaker schedule than the Rockets do, and so that I look at too. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're right. I feel like Giannis is a better team leader than James Harden is. You know, a lot of times. That's why Russell
'cause
Westbrook.
look,
They're scary now
this
because of
was-
Russie.
This was the year that Russell got his MVP because he averaged a triple double, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was Actually, Russie was number 1 in scoring in the whole league that
Wow.
year. He was number 1 in assists, and James Harden was number 3 in scoring, and James Harden was number 4 in assists. You know,
4 in assists.
yeah, no,
Three
three,
in scoring,
3 in scoring. You know, and then there's 3-pointers made. Of course, James.
What's
Harden's
rebounds,
on there,
though?
Like Russie. Russie's he was number 1 in steals for his.
Oh,
MVP,
you had to
yeah.
give him that then.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
had
so
to give him
had to
MVP.
Yeah, I didn't really look into it deep like
Yeah,
that.
you had to give it to
But,
Russie
yeah.
then. You know? And that's what I was saying, though. That's what I was just going to bring up, is that every year, I feel like James Harden deserved the MVP for any year you're talking about. James Harden deserved the MVP as much as LeBron James deserved the MVP that year. Whatever said year it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel, like, I feel, and every year there's a guy who comes out of nowhere and does something great. Russie played stupid that year. What year was that? 16, 17?
Yeah.
Out of his mind. We're looking at his numbers right now, bro. Those are amazing
Those
numbers
amazing.
for a year.
He was
you know?
number 1 in like four different categories.
Yeah.
Like
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was,
That's-
bro. But
that's-
do you
that's-
remember that year? He was wilding.
He was.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I got on him about, he earned everything that year he did. But when it came to rebounds, there was even stories that came out that he had something in between the big men. It was Steven Adams and Cantor and him at the time. He would, for free throws, he would tell them to box out so he can get most of the free throw rebounds. You know, so he would pad his stats on free throw rebounds, which is, listen, you know, he did that, so he didn't really, he averaged 10 a game, you know, and he went hard for that 10 a game.
Yeah, because
you
there was
know?
a couple of games he had to get a
Yeah,
lot.
right. And he went out and got those boards, but he was doing shit like that. You know what I mean? And so, you know, but he was first in a lot more things than just rebounds. That's why he
Yeah.
deserved it, though.
And this is 2017, 2018. I think that's when Stephen Curry won his back-to-back, right? 2017, 2018. His MVP.
Yeah, right.
Let me see. Because I really want to see, like,
But-
you know, what he feels
But-
like.
but that's the
Well,
thing, though, bro.
answer that question though. What I asked Danny.
What?
What do you reward more?
Yeah,
Because that season that that is really between Giannis and James Harden is the tale of that.
Yeah.
Is Giannis from jump to finish was the best team in the league, was the best player on the best team in the league. You know what I'm saying? And then James Harden, the Rockets were like iffy, and then he literally put him on his back and went on the run he went on.
Yeah. So okay.
What do you reward more? The guy that starts the race
guy that
in first,
the
and
whole
finishes
season,
the race in
yeah,
first,
the whole
or
season he was
the guy
consistent.
who starts the race in last
Yeah.
and finishes at the top.
Well, how did the Rockets didn't have a good year until the end that year? Is that what happened?
Well, no, I know they dealt with a lot of injury, and it was James Harden just literally going at everybody's throat for.
All right. So
And they play in the West too. You know that schedule is a lot harder too.
When
man.
did Giannis win it last year? Right.
Yeah, Giannis was last year.
Right? So that was
18, 19.
18, 19, right?
It's been Giannis, and then the year before that was James.
That was the thing.
Yeah,
James
that's the
thought
list
he
right
should
there.
have gone back to back.
Yeah.
That's Giannis, James, Russie,
But
and
this
Steph
is
got
so
twice
this
back
is
to
the
back.
year that Giannis won it then.
Yeah.
So he was third in scoring. James Harden was Giannis was putting up 27.
Oh, these are last year's numbers.
Yeah,
The
these
questionable outcome we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is okay. This is probably reasonable here. This is why he's probably really mad. Giannis was third in scoring. He was averaging 30. Well, Giannis was averaging 27.7, and James was averaging 36.
So James was almost averaging 10
10
points
points
more
more
per
than-
game.
Yeah. And let me look
Here,
at the
look.
complete leaders of assists. So James Harden was 7th on the assists, and Giannis was 21 on assists.
What's the actual number, like assists per game? What's the number?
James
on
Harden
that?
had 7.5 assists per game, and Giannis had 5.9. So almost basically 6.
6.
Yeah.
You know?
So he's an assist a half shot.
Yeah. And okay, so you
What
know.
about
three-
rebounds? Oh, 3-pointers?
They have 3-pointers made on there now. So
See,
James
Buddy's
Harden
up
and,
there.
and like Stephen Curry. Yeah, man, Buddy's on there.
Buddy's up
For
there
real.
every year.
You know, blocks. I bet you Giannis is on there.
Yeah.
So I bet you
He's
he's
top
definitely,
10.
He's definitely
he's
on
top
there.
10.
Yeah, he is 10th. Exactly.
He's number 10. Okay.
Mhm.
He was exactly 10th last year for like blocks. You know. Steals. James Harden was 2nd.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, Giannis was 32nd. with
That's
1.3
big.
steals.
Yeah.
That's
facts.
big for a guy who's known for not playing defense. And listen,
that-
you're playing
hell yeah.
passing lanes, but you have to be able
He's
to
been picking up
dissect
his
plays to
defense.
play
He-
passing
I
lanes.
feel like he's been
That
picking
takes
up his
IQ.
defense,
Facts.
you know.
What about rebounds though?
Rebounds, of course. Well, you know, Giannis he was 6, so he was he averaged 12.5, 12 and a half rebounds.
What was James?
Russell last year had 11.1. He was 10th amongst the bigs. So that's crazy.
Damn, he's not even in the top 50.
James Harden 46th with 6.6. That's the typical guard average of rebounds.
But listen, in
You
today's
know.
NBA,
But that's what I'm
culture
saying. Like
of
they
positionless,
kind of,
and you have to be
James
able
will
to
have
do
a category.
everything.
Giannis will have a category.
Yeah.
but when
They'll
it
go-
comes
they
to
went back and
rebounds, they're
forth.
so
I feel
far.
like James has the more important categories. Like, you know,
I don't know.
He has he's outscoring
to what his
him.
team does.
He's 2nd in steals, so you know that he plays D.
Yeah,
You know,
but Giannis is top 3 in scoring and 1st in rebound, or what?
10th.
10th in
Top 10 in
rebounds.
rebounds,
At
top 10 in
12.
scoring. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing
And
Giannis
he-
is
and he
shitty
does
at is
blocks. He
assists.
Top 10 in
Top
blocks,
10 in blocks.
You know, block shots.
In today's NBA, you know what? I think I don't know.
But that's what I said. It goes to
Yeah.
the
I mean,
what do you reward
we can look
more?
at field goal percentage.
Giannis is gonna be better overall
Probably is.
because everything's in the paint.
Yeah. Higher field goal percentage, definitely. He's taking higher percentage
Yeah,
shots.
James Harden's field goal percentage last year was 44.2, bro. That's fucking crazy. Giannis's was 57.8.
Yeah,
60.
exactly.
He was pacing,
God.
It was almost 60%.
Yeah. But
You
James
know?
Harden shoots
But yeah,
threes and
because, like,
Giannis
look,
shoots
It goes to the
James,
paint.
James Harden attempts 13.2 threes a game, while Giannis only does
4.
almost 3.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
That's what I'm saying.
2.8.
They live where they
You know
live.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They live where they live. But that's what I'm saying. It goes to that. What do
Right.
you reward
And
more?
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that's the year that James Harden had to put the team on his back because the Rockets
Right.
were hurt.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, bro. Like I
And
think the
he was
NBA
wilding.
rewards,
That's when he was
he
putting
was-
up 40 up on
Yeah,
everybody.
he was bugging.
and all day long
But
the
do you
NBA.
reward the guy who started in last and rose, or
Right.
do you reward the guy who started in first and finished in first?
And the NBA has always rewarded the winning teams. If it's
Yeah.
two players like this for MVP race, whoever's team is better, they'll give it to it. So let's look at Kobe Bryant, for Christ's sake. It's terrible. But that's why them players can't tell me nothing, bro. Kobe has one. If you got one, shut your mouth, sit down, and eat your food at the table. For real, bro. There's nothing you could tell me. Was Kobe complaining? Nah, but have you ever heard Kobe complain, bro?
Go to your room.
I had never heard Kobe complain about only having one MVP, because he's a champion.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
that
that's
shit
just
is a
so crazy.
travesty.
Yeah, you hear Shaq complain about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shaq will
run,
complain about it
you know?
more than Kobe
More than
would.
Kobe. Yeah.
Shaq
You know,
thinks
real nigga
that
shit.
He should have won that he should have won one of the MVPs that Steve Nash got, which he probably should have. Probably one of them.
Shaq should have won it, or Kobe should have won it
Shaq thinks that he should have got one of the MVPs that Steve
from
Nash got.
over Kobe.
I don't know. He didn't necessarily say over Kobe. He
Nah,
was
yeah,
talking
Nash got
about
two.
Steve
Cause
Nash.
I felt like Kobe should have won in one of those Steve
Yeah,
Nash
nah,
years.
nah,
He
by
said
far,
him
by
and
far.
Kobe should have had the two
Oh.
MVPs
Yeah.
that Nash
Oh,
got.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, Shaq is an asshole.
Yeah,
Why do
nah.
niggas be hating on Steve Nash though?
Well,
You know, you can't really- I mean,
first of all,
Steve
Shaq
Nash
is the
was-
biggest, saltiest hater of them all. Bro.
Yeah, cause you got. I mean,
You
Steve
know,
Nash
every time
having
he's
one is
on
okay.
He's on inside. You know what I'm saying? Like he be and these new play. Like, come on, bro. He made Dwight Howard like lesser of a man for a good couple years. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where nobody stopped talking. He made JaVale McGee. You know what I'm saying? Curl up in a ball, crying that he makes fun
Yo,
of him. Like,
Bro.
like,
He
Shaq
holds
just-
the big to a certain standard.
Yeah, he does. He
Yeah,
definitely
nah, he
does,
does.
because he's the most dominant. So he feels like big.
Yo,
He's
I'm going through this
the
MVP
most
list right now throughout
dominant.
history, bro. It's so crazy, man. Like, let me tell you how many MVPs Bird has. Bird has 1, 2, 3. The Bird won 3 in a row. Bird
Hey,
won
man, but
3 in a
everybody know
row,
why,
bro.
you know.
Wow.
Everybody
Kareem.
know why.
Nah, Larry.
Let me tell you how
was-
many
Nah,
Wilt.
Larry
That's
Legend
Larry
was-
Legend.
Low key, Larry Legend was like the most skilled motherfucker to ever live. Like,
Bro.
Yeah,
bro,
so
he would tell people
so
what
let's-
he would do before. I'm about to go in the corner.
And he had the Golden Girls haircut.
bugging.
yeah, nah, he was killing it with the with the
Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett hair.
Whatever.
Looking.
So you're going down, right, and you start seeing, okay, Bob Cousy, these Celtics were running things back in the 50s,
come
bro.
on.
Bill Russell won his first in 57.
Shout out to
right?
Bob Petty, baby.
Yeah, Bob Pettit won 2. Wilt Chamberlain won his in 59, and then Bill won 3 more in a row. But that's when the Celtics won 10 rings in
Yeah,
a row.
facts,
You know, so they had that streak. Oscar Robertson went ahead and got his. Then Bill Russell's back again, and then Wilt takes over for a little bit. Wilt gets
Yeah,
3
but that
in
was
a
around
row.
the times where you were like, "Oh, it gotta be one of them."
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
dominating.
was a two-man
Yeah,
show.
it
And
gotta
then-
be, it gotta be one.
And then
of
the
them.
next man to
Lakers,
step up.
Celtics.
Yeah.
Big versus big.
Then they passed it to Kareem in 1970. Lou Alcindor won in 1970-71.
Wow.
Then he changed his name the year later and won it again. Just to put
New
on a
name on
different
a
alias.
trophy.
Yeah,
Oh.
just to have a different name on a trophy. Then he
My
got
son
2,
won it in
3,
in
4,
79 and 80. And he
Bro,
and
he's
he-
got
and
5.
He came in the league when he come in the league?
6. He's got 6. He won it his rookie year. 70, 71.
Everybody be talking that Jordan shit, man.
That
but
nigga Kareem,
Nah,
bro.
Kareem
Kareem
Has
Kareem
6
really-
MVPs.
Kareem also
And he's the
played
all-time
forever.
scoring
Yeah, he
leader.
played
Right.
forever,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
6 MVPs,
But
all-time
That
scoring leader.
takes a lot of skill
Nah,
to
facts.
play forever and still be effective.
But he was also.
This is
what I'm
another
saying?
sh-
We're actually seeing it right
Let me-
now with LeBron.
Let me give you another shocker / robbery. There's question time here. Obviously, I have the answers and you guys don't. But
questions.
right. So, how many MVPs would you say that Julius Erving has? Dr. J.
Probably one.
You say 1?
None.
None. He only has 1.
Yeah.
But that's only because his best years were in the ABA. Just want people
Yeah.
to know that.
yeah.
Next question. How many MVPs does the mailman Karl Malone have?
2.
I was gonna say 2.
He agrees with 2. You guys are on the money today.
I
I respect this.
Baby,
I respect this. This is off the cuff. We didn't plan this. These are questions I'm firing right now.
Hip fire.
You know what I mean?
You never know.
Yeah, this is from the hip Western
fire.
style. We're in the saloon.
Saloon.
How many MVPs did the great Hakeem Olajuwon have?
Hakeem had one.
Yeah, one.
It's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Listen, this.
Yo, you're
I'm
quick on the
impressed.
buzzer. You're quick on the buzzer because I'm like,
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
This is some surefire shit right now. So we'll go to the next question.
Let's go, champ.
Scooch it.
This one's going back in the crates a little bit. Really got to know your stuff about this.
So,
What was the first year that Michael Jordan won MVP?
89.
Says 89.
90.
87, 88 season. You're close.
Wow.
You're close. 1 year.
87, 88.
87, 8. That's when he had the gold chain and he was like Jesus in sneakers in front of Larry Bird.
Facts.
Larry Bird was on he was like Bambi on ice, right? That's what they talk about Deontay. That's how Larry Bird looked in front of Jordan. That's crazy. I'm impressed though. That was some real fire.
You got one wrong.
Nah, that was some
But,
real
you
fire
know,
that you took
That's just
real
to
quick.
let y'all know we're human.
Legit though. But legit at talking this basketball thing though. How many people can get those questions right
Not a
off
lot
the
of
head?
people will get
Robocode.
those basketball.
And trust me.
Only Robocode.
I put the pressure on people. I put the pressure on people. So it wasn't easy when what these gentlemen just did. I respect it.
Yo, you know what I really respect when you watch like those ESPN shows and then they go into like the archives and they like look at like specific certain games when certain things happen. Like, remember that one game? I don't know when I think Tim Duncan almost had a quadruple double, or was it David Robinson?
Nah, I think it was.
I don't know.
I remember, it was San Antonio.
Yeah.
It was definitely San Antonio. It was definitely a bit.
Yeah.
I wanna find out now.
I think it was either David Robinson or Tim Duncan. Like, one of them almost had a quadruple double. And if y'all don't know what a quadruple double is, a quadruple double is 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 steals, 4 of 10 categories, basically. You know, besides turnovers, they don't count that. You know what I mean? But you have to get like 10, at least 10 in 4 different categories.
Positive.
You know, positive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that, which is very rare. Like, that's unheard of. Like, you know, like the only person that I think could do it right now is Russell Westbrook.
Well, I'll tell you, there's been 5 people ever to do it.
Wow.
And Hakeem Olajuwon did it twice.
Wow.
Nah, I believe it.
That's why he's in a couple episodes when you know, he wasn't here.
I believe
but,
it.
you know, when we were talking about our like team, that's why I put him as my greatest center of all
Yeah,
time.
he's my backup center, but yeah,
He's the greatest
he
center
did
of all
it
time
twice,
to me,
bro.
my opinion.
But you're right about the San Antonio. David Robinson did it
He did it,
February
right? Yeah,
17th.
I knew one
Dave
of
Robinson
them
was the last man to do it in 1994. But yeah, Nate Thurman did it in 74. He had 22 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, and 12 blocks. Alvin Robinson did it in 86. He had 20 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 steals. So you either get it on steals or blocks is what people say. Hakeem did it. Let me see his line right here. Oh, they're not showing me his line right now. Why are they doing that to me?
Shit, he probably had
30.
His was probably blocks too.
10.
His was probably blocks too.
Because yeah, man, it's like definitely blocks.
And David Robinson, I would think he was blocks too.
Yeah, blocks and rebounds.
But yeah, 5 people ever. Nowadays, bro, I think
Russell Westbrook definitely.
Rusty could do it.
LeBron could
LeBron
do it.
could do it.
LeBron can, but he has to, like, you know, he's on some Goku shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to push him and back him up against the wall, and then he'll unleash the beast that we all know.
Exactly.
That you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, Hakeem had 29, 18 rebounds, 10 assists, and 11 blocks against Golden State.
Crazy.
And then he did it again the next year. And he did 18, 16 rebounds, 18 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, and 11 blocks. Almost the same line against Milwaukee.
It's amazing, man.
Dave Robinson did his with blocks, too.
That's an amazing
10 blocks.
thing to accomplish.
Yeah, quadruple double
Like,
is
no
rare.
funny, would
It's
you-
very
alright,
rare.
So let's say it's, you know, it's just like you know, it's just like how the James Harden and like Russell Westbrook thing, how he averages So what if somebody like, 'cause, you know, it's impossible to average a quadruple double. But what if somebody did it like 3 or 4 times in a season? Do you think that they're like MVP
Yeah.
worthy?
If you get 4 quadruple doubles in a year,
I think you would be MVP worthy, just for the only reason that there's some things.
That'd be fucking
Nah,
ridiculous.
because there's
Kawhi
some
Leonard,
things
too,
that
again, is one of those people I feel
there's
like
because there's some
Yeah.
things that could happen in one particular stat line. Like a player like Brandon Jennings scored 55 in an NBA game, but he's not
Yeah.
averaging 25 for a season ever,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So like points you can go off,
Yeah,
but when you
yeah.
go off in like 4 different categories, and if you were to do that 4 times, that would mean that you have a green light on your team.
Yeah, of
You're
course.
getting a lot of minutes,
Of course.
right? And you're a well-rounded player to get that 10 stat and other things, you
Yeah.
know, like
and
so,
you have to be efficient.
Yeah.
super efficient.
You have to be super efficient.
So-
That's the
Super
thing
efficient.
that's the thing that people forget, that you got to realize either it's only 2 outcomes in the sense of a quadruple double. There's only one outcome. You had to have been efficient to
Yeah.
do all those things
Yeah.
that good in the game.
Mhm.
In just the sense of scoring, people that put up 60, 40, 50, 60, 70 points, like there's only 2 ways. Like obviously, it's either you were super efficient,
right.
and
Or you
that's
got the
why to
green
me,
light
like
in the mixture of both.
to
Put up,
me,
like,
to
60
me,
shots.
a 45-point game or a 48-point game efficiently done is a little more impressive sometimes than like a 60.
Yeah.
Certain 45s are more impressive than 60s to me.
Yeah.
And that it's just 15, it's straight up 15 more points.
I would say that too, because like it's way more difficult to, you know what I'm saying, to do what they
Like if they drop 45 and say they go 10 for 15 from the field.
yeah.
And then you got somebody who'd go for 60 but went like 11 for 27.
Yeah.
28.
Facts. Yeah. 11. Yeah, facts, bro. That shit is.
Like I think it's more impressive. Like bro,
It is,
you only
though.
missed 5 shots.
It is though.
Like that's why the Clay shits. What Clay be doing sometimes. That's some of the
Well-
most impressive shit to me. Like
Bro, what Clay does is just like, you know, he
in one quarter, it's high
Yeah.
volume shooting. That's what it is.
without
it's
too.
taking
just-
a dribble,
but
you don't
so
dribble the basketball.
efficient.
Yeah.
Just so efficient, bro. He's not missing.
Yeah.
Like the Kyrie half
Yeah.
when he went 10 for 10 for the field.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Every shot you took went in.
And at the end of the day, son, like that shit is not easy, my nigga. Like you said, bro, you really gotta be efficient, and you really have to shoot at a certain clip. You have to shoot at it. You know what I'm saying? You have to pick your shots wisely. You can't just chuck up 35 shots and expect 40 points. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
Like if people like Klay Thompson were to chuck up 35 shots, they're getting like 70 points.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because for the simple fact of him not even having to take a dribble and dropping 36
Just
in a quarter,
off the motion of
you
their
know what I'm
offense.
saying? Like that's all he has to do is
Catch and shoot.
Run
yeah.
around and catch. The minute you see daylight, let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's perfected that too.
Easy.
He's perfected that. It's almost like how Reggie Miller used to be on his catch and shoot shit.
Yeah.
You know, like the way he perfected
was
it.
different. That motherfucker would dead ass. He
But,
was
but,
different.
but,
he
bro,
would
you
start
can't
shooting
say that.
before
you
he
can't say
caught.
that. Reggie's not different. Like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson is Reggie Miller.
Yeah, no,
They
that
done.
I mean,
Klay, you can't take nothing from Klay.
No, you
peop-
can't.
on-
You can't take nothing, bro. That's why, yo.
I'll tell
What do
you.
y'all always compare me to?
Play.
This is no neck, obviously.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
y'all always
Klay
say, and
Thompson,
I
yeah.
take that like for real.
Run off the
Alright,
screens,
cool.
catch and shoot.
Can't dribble like that. That's cool, but he's a gun.
Yeah.
He's
He's
a hired
Come
gun,
off,
bro.
Come off the screen
And he's guaranteed, like, he
But-
be doing crazy
Yeah.
shit.
At the same time, and y'all know about this man too. This is my second bet. I would put Clay number 3 all time, run around shooter, or I don't know, cause Ray Allen's up there too.
I think
who's your top 5 best shooters
Off the
all
off
time?
the screen shooters, type catch and shoot
just
shooters.
greatest
Shooters?
of all time.
Steph is number
Yeah,
one.
nice.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say that
Steph is, of
easy.
course,
Yeah,
number
it's like
one.
Steph, Ray Allen.
Yeah. Steph, Ray Allen, number 2, but from then on.
Then I would say Bird. then you got to go into new age guys because nowadays the 3-pointer is different nowadays. You know what I mean? Like the 3-pointers, there's such a green light. There wasn't a green light back then.
Yeah.
So nowadays a guy like Buddy Hield who has real 3-point stats in the all-time NBA lists and stuff, you know, like he's up there like top 15, 20. He's not in my top 10 obviously, but like, bro, the way I look at it, I feel like Trae Young's going to end up there. He's going to be a top 10 shooter
at
ever.
the rate that basketball is going, like, of course, like, you know, everybody's shooting frenzy now. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, so yeah, we're going to see a lot of great
So you're
shooters.
saying-
Right,
Just
I wouldn't give you top
Yeah,
10
like-
shooters off the top of the head because I would have to look at lists. Like, I'll put more thought into my shit than that. I couldn't go off the top of the head and give you top 10 shooters. But the NBA, you would have a lot more shooters
I
on
can
that
bring up
list.
The list.
Right, but you would have a lot more shooters on that list from nowadays than from back in the day just because style of play, bro. Style of play just
Yeah,
like
they're
really
gonna cycle
dictated
them
that.
out.
If it was a 3-point shooting league, you would see Michael Jordan on those lists. You know? You would see
Kobe on those lists too.
Kobe,
You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, like
Nah, that's
you
tough,
would see,
bro.
You would see
Co-
a lot of players. that
Kobe's
list.
beginning years, you could take.
They were modeled after
three,
Jordan.
3 years, his first 3, but after that, Kobe had the green light his whole career.
Okay,
Mhm.
so look, this is the all-time list right now, you know, and we can obviously decipher who's gonna pass who.
I can't see what you see right now.
All right, wait, hold on. Let me look for a better thing. All right.
What is that, top 50,
yeah,
top
this
20,
is-
top
No,
25?
this is the all-time. This is the all-time three-point list. So Ray Allen is obviously number one with 2,973.
I can see.
Oh, yeah? I didn't think you could see him. He was in the woods.
That's why I'm saying it. Reggie Miller's number 2 at 560. So these are guys that's already done. So Steph Curry right now has 2,492. He's third already. So obviously he's going to be number 1
Yeah.
when it's all said and done. Kyle Korver is number 4. James Harden's number 5 right now of all time.
Kyle Korver's number 4 all time.
Yeah, Kyle Korver. Jason Terry's number 6. Vince Carter, who's still pumping, who's still going, baby, number 7. Jamal Crawford, number 8. Paul Pierce, who you hate, his fucking number is like number 9. Like, this list is crazy because you wouldn't expect a lot of these guys to really be shooters. Vince Carter,
And those
we all
are
know,
is that
the greatest
3-point
dunker of all
percentage
time.
or 3 points made?
No, these are
3-pointers made?
3-pointers made.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah, Kyle Korver.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver is up there.
my son Bronny's 15.
That's longevity.
Yeah, that's
In today's NBA, yeah, you shoot a lot more.
He passed Kobe. Kobe's 17th, and Klay Thompson is 18th. That's crazy. I would expect Klay to be top 10 already. That's wild.
Not when you're playing with Steph Curry and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I think Nat from this point on, now that
Yeah,
it's back
he's
to
gonna,
tandems.
He's gonna make his way up there now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he probably will
Yeah, man. It's a
pull the
shoot-
trigger
it's
on
just
those.
It's a real shooting. it's a
Steph Curry's the
shooting-heavy
greatest
league.
shooter of all time, though.
Yeah, no. Steph Curry by far is the greatest shooter of all time. And that and like he.
It's hands
He
down.
changed-
And
he
bro,
changed
but
the
honestly,
game.
no funny is gonna be I think it's gonna be a long time before we say someone that can really challenge him when he's said and done.
Yeah.
Bro.
We can say who has, like, Trae Young has that potential in him.
Trae Young has.
There's shooters
has
that
the
have potential, but
actually, who
to
sat down
do-
and the blueprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
off the dribble,
But see,
catch and shoot.
when I look at
spot
the
up,
list-
doesn't matter, bro. It's
when I
water.
look at the list and you see something like, and this is, listen, not for nothing, he's had a great career, but 3-point shooter is probably not something I would call him, even though maybe he had a couple years where he shot it well.
Who?
Trevor Ariza is number 35 on the list. And that's just a product of this day's NBA, just taking more 3-pointers. Because his role was 3 and D.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He's a 3 and D guy. And he plays
Yeah,
defense
but
very well.
it-
And there was a
it's-
time where he
it's-
was hitting a lot
yeah.
of threes. He's 35, bro.
It's also the teams, too. He played
Like,
on
he's in
Houston.
front of Manu
Yeah,
Ginobili.
he
He's
played
in
on
front of Mike
Houston.
Bibby.
He played on these teams.
Who Houston for the past, however many years been putting up the most 3-pointers.
Right.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. So it's a product of the times, man.
In the systems.
Would you tell me that Trevor Ariza's a better 3-point shooter than Mike Bibby? No. I would never say that. Mike Bibby's a solidified 3-point shooter, but Trevor Ariza has more threes made than him. You know, it's like some real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
The key with that too is games played
Yeah.
with shooters.
Yeah, because if you
Because
play
look at
like
Steph's
20
games played
Yeah.
and where he's at.
Facts, bro. But at the same time, it's a generational thing because
Yeah, 100%.
Because like, look, I just read the stat that James Harden puts up 13 threes a game. Like 10 years ago, or even like in the 90s or early 2000s, like the most stars were putting up were 5 3-pointers a game, probably.
Right, but
not even.
But
You
see,
know what I
when
mean?
you talk about 3-point shooting, that's why I said like the first thing, if you can't, to me, I don't look at this list. It doesn't tell me who the greatest shooters of all time are. I can't go by this list. You know what I mean? Because I don't put that much stock into this list right here. Maybe 3-point field goal percentage. That's a very important stat to me. How many you miss, right? Not just how many you made, because you could have took a shitload and missed a shitload too. So field goal percentage is very important to me. Because, bro, like, come on. J.R. Smith is 13, and Peja Stojakovic is 20th.
Peja,
Like,
baby, what you mean?
Right. Peja is a
Peja
better
Stojakovic.
shooter than J.R. Smith, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right. So why is J.R. Smith higher on the list then? Because this list doesn't, I don't put value in this
Yeah,
list.
but-
That's what that means.
But that's JR Swish.
It is. It is. That's my Jersey boy. That's my Jersey boy.
Nah,
But
I
Page
definitely
is
feel that,
different.
though. I
you
feel the
know?
same way.
This is the
Field goal
yeah,
percentage?
this is
3-point field goal percentage?
This is crazy. Steve Kerr is obviously
These are real. Yeah.
number one. He's at like
These are guys with the real
45%.
ratchet.
Seth Curry.
Wait. Time out. Steve Kerr's number 1
Yeah.
in field goal percentage
Yeah.
ever?
Yeah. That was the first thing when he got onto to
Crazy.
But you do got to look at volume too, bro.
Yeah,
if
like,
these guys
if
are only
he's-
taking 2 and these guys are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he's only getting like
A
5
40
or
a
4 threes
40%
game.
shooter at
Bro.
10 attempts is more impressive than a 50% shooter at 5 or a 50% shooter at 4 attempts.
To me, it's not, because as a shooter, and you guys are ball players, in game, during game, you can get into a groove where you hit 3 in a row. If you're only taking 2 a game, you have to hit one of those. If you don't, then you don't hit any threes that night. You know what I mean? So I look at people who do things. If you're more consistent in a smaller dose, that means you had success. You know,
I
more
mean,
as more times. You know,
I
success.
guess.
Yeah, you didn't get the opportunity. Steve Kerr wasn't shooting 10 a game. Imagine if Steve Kerr was shooting 10 a
But
game.
listen, so second is Seth Curry. His face, I knew his face was gonna be like that. Yeah, second is Seth Curry, not Steph, but Seth.
Who's third?
Third is Hubert Davis.
Oh, Hubert
Shout
Davis
out-
is North Carolina.
Shout out
Great.
to Hubie Hugh.
Hubert Davis,
I
no,
don't-
UNC. Great. Oh, you don't know him?
I don't know about Hugh. I don't know about Hugh.
Hubert Davis commentates college basketball. Light skinned dude, Hubert Davis.
The light skinned black dude.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's Hubert Davis.
My man had the ratchet, I guess.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fourth, for 3-point percentages, Petrovic, which you know.
Drazen?
Yeah, Drazen.
Oh.
Drazen.
R.I.P.
This is
Drazen.
all time.
All time. Look, all time.
So
And
So
Seth
after
went-
hearing these
yeah.
names, bro, how much real stock do you put in these 3-point numbers?
Well, you got to put him up to make him. It's a make or miss league.
It's a
No, but that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you if it was a make or
It's a
miss
make or
league.
miss
That's a good
league.
phrase, though. How much stock do you put in those stats? When you see a 3-point stat, do you say, "Wow, that really means he's a good shooter,"
Like,
or
damn, that nigga made a lot of threes throughout his whole career.
right?
I mean, but then
But you look at the
percentage,
names on
yeah,
the
but
list,
then,
though.
But then you look at percentages, yeah, like Steph Curry, instead of being number 3, he's number 5 because on the all-time 3-point made, he's number 3.
Yeah, so you're telling
But-
me that Seth is better than Steph
Yeah,
because he has a higher percentage?
yeah. You can't. You
He's
really
been
can't say that.
successful more. Yo, You know
You-
what?
you-
I put
you-
no
you
I put
can't-
no stock in any
You
3-point
can't-
stats
you can't
anymore.
tell me that.
There's not. It's only the eye test as far as
You can't-
3-pointers
All
go
right,
for me
so-
now. It's only the eye test now.
But you're gonna off
That's
the
crazy.
eye test. Who you saying? You're gonna say the
Top
high
10?
volume guys.
Top 10 off the eye test?
No,
Jason
top
Capone's
three.
up there. You're
Top
gonna say
three.
Jason Capone's better
Bro, Doug McDermott's up here. He's number 20 all time. He don't even
because
get
it's based on
burned.
percent. Like I'm saying, that list right there that's the list that's gonna change.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
the stats.
this-
Go off the eye test. Who's
Nah,
your top
yeah.
three?
Because these stats mean nothing.
It's Steph, Ray,
But
and
I will tell you
Yeah,
one
when
thing
you,
though.
When you talk about shooters, you have to strictly just go off eye tests.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the stats, you're gonna be seeing Hubert Davis.
it's Steph. No, bro, it's me.
Bro,
It's
Buddy
Steph.
Hield is in all the
Yeah.
top stats though.
yeah, nah, that's one person. That,
Buddy's
that's
in
really
all-
could shoot. He could really shoot.
He got the
though.
gun, bro.
He got the gun.
Bro,
And
he's
if you want to
20
put
in
him
this
on your
bullshit
all-time
stat.
shooter,
He's from the
I
Bahamas,
wouldn't even. Yeah,
He's from the
yeah. Facts.
Nassau.
Yes, coach. I'm here.
Nigga said he's from the Bahamas. You
Straight
are
off the-
absolutely right.
Straight off the boat, man.
So yeah, bro. So
Shoot
I mean,
in
listen.
Indiana.
If I would have to give you 10 shooters, I'm going
It
off
could
of.
be your favorite shooters.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm going off of just eye test. Then it would have to
Nigga said
be
Indiana. He went to Oklahoma, man.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Steph, Ray Allen.
Your knowledge, man. Victor Oladipo went to Indiana.
Victor,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Victor Oladipo.
But yeah, Steph,
when they was
Ray
shooting.
Allen.
Don't start the college shit. You know what I mean? You know how I give it up.
Facts.
I mean, yeah, Steph, Ray Allen, Larry Bird. Let me see, who else wouldn't I say on this list? Yo, you know what? I gotta give it up to Steve Kerr though. Steve Kerr hit clutch 3-pointers.
No, it's a fact.
And
He
so,
did.
and I would put Reggie Miller up there for his clutch shooting also. See, then after 5, then you just got these new era guys who I fucks with. Like, you know, like I'm putting Trae Young's gonna make my top 10, but he's probably gonna be like 9 or 10. But I'll put a dude like Dirk in there. Steve Nash is in there.
You better say my son's name, bro. He has a game after him in the most important series of the year. What is it? Game 3, Clay?
Oh, you said Clay? Yeah, I guess I'll put Clay up there. Clay's 9.
You have to put Clay.
Yeah, so Clay's 9 and then Trae Young's 10.
My son
But yeah,
dropped
it's-
60
I
in
mean,
3 quarters.
Bro, these stats
Shit.
bug me out, bro. I don't
My-
even like
shit,
looking at
my
these
top-
stupid ass
My
stats.
top 10 is, probably
These stats are dumb.
probably along the same lines. Obviously Steph, Ray. I'm gonna
Like
put
Ray
my son
with the
Peja
tray.
Stojakovic.
Yeah, y'all both missing the name too. I'm surprised y'all didn't say. That's on mine for sure.
Well, there's only 10 you could put on there.
Yeah.
Agent Zero.
I wouldn't.
Gilbert?
He wouldn't be on my top.
Yeah.
I thought about him.
Yeah.
I thought about him.
yeah.
He wouldn't be on my top 10
Gilbert?
though.
Yeah.
Hibachi.
He got hot. Yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
nah,
he
man,
he had his
Gilbert-
shine. You're right.
Gilbert, Dirk.
Michael Red.
Let's get it. Ohio State, Milwaukee Bucks.
Michael Red.
Michael Red was an All-Star
He
3
was
years in a
wild,
row.
though.
Remember
Lefty.
Derek Mason?
Lefty.
Remember Derek Mason and Michael Red on the same
Yo,
team in
Derek
Milwaukee?
Mason, I used to pick my son.
He used to be wilding in NBA
Monte
Live.
was there too, no?
Yeah.
Huh?
Chauncey.
Monte?
Hey, listen, Chauncey Billups.
Monte Ellis, yeah, from Milwaukee. Yup.
Chauncey Billups.
That Milwaukee team was kind of.
Yeah. That Milwaukee
Yeah,
team.
on the low. I fucks
yeah,
with it.
On the low.
Word.
But Chauncey Billups is on my top 10.
Milwaukee
Good-
always had like on the cuff
Big
teams,
shot.
bro.
Yeah, Mr. Big Shot.
Bro, cause there was times back in
Robert
the day
Horry?
when y'all was
Robert
kids.
Horry.
When y'all was kids and Ray Allen was a rookie, him and Glenn Robinson had a Milwaukee team that was legit too.
Back,
You know,
back
the-
when Ray
the-
Allen dunked everything.
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. Ray Allen was
Yeah, he
yoking shit.
Yoking shit.
Word.
Everything.
And so him and Glenn Robinson, the big dog. I'm big dog, Glenn Rob.
Oh.
Listen, God, you a flea, and your little homie Jungle is a garden to me. That's the whole shit. You talking about Glenn Robinson? Glenn Robinson was legit back in the day, bro.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
legit.
his son is playing on Philly now.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
make us better.
It's GR3. It's RG3 backwards, nigga, in the mirror.
Yeah. Nah,
Hopefully
man.
you have a
It's
better.
GR3.
Hopefully you have
Yo.
a better career.
Have y'all been hearing the talks though? Should the Sixers get rid of Joel? And we were just talking about that last week. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because
Yeah,
I mean,
you're the only fool that believes that they should.
I I'm not the only fool.
Only fool in
guess
this room.
ESPN is,
You the only fool in this room.
I guess so, but I
You
feel
want to get rid of Joel? You said, yeah.
Yeah, remember I said it last week.
Yeah, nah, I didn't think you were serious about it though. I
man,
just
I'm
thought it was
dead
like a quick
serious.
thing that flew
Dead
across like a
That's
thought.
just brother. See,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Brotherly love. You showing him love. Like, there's no way he's crazy enough to think that.
Because a
Dead
week
serious.
later, when
Nah,
you see,
I knew you was serious. They didn't know you was serious.
nah, because the thing was, the day after we talked about it, he put up like 49 the next day after the podcast, like on that Monday or something. He put it up this past Monday. He's been playing ball, but then he gets out. Are the Sixers gonna make the playoffs? Because I've been
Yeah, we're
hearing
gonna
people
make the
say it's
playoffs.
over for the season and they're in fifth. How is it over for the season and there's like, but there is 4 weeks left. You know,
Yeah, but that.
there's a whole month left.
Yo, just making the playoffs is not a success for you guys.
Clippers are playing the Sixers right now.
Probably
That's not a
won't.
success for you guys. Just making the playoffs is not a success. Not for the team you have.
Nah, not right now. Yeah, not right now. I feel like we.
You were
We need
you
to-
did made it to the conference finals last year. Like, just making the playoffs is
Yeah,
not a
Word,
success.
you damn near went to the finals off of one shot.
yeah.
You better be in the big dance.
No, yo, for real.
But yeah, man.
Nah, son. that
Speaking
shit
of
was,
success, fantasy team is about to take another dub this week.
Yo, shout out everybody on fantasy, man.
Nah,
You know,
don't shout out everybody.
Word.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody on fantasy who try to get over this week.
Shout out to everybody on fantasy that moves the way. Like, there's unwritten rules to this.
Right.
Yeah.
100%, bro. There's unwritten rules to life.
There's
Right?
unwritten rules to this shit.
You know?
man.
You don't try to go after your man's ex-girlfriend, you know? You go in somebody's house, you tell everybody hi, you acknowledge them, right? On the basketball court, if it's a blowout, you dribble it out,
Yes.
right? There's unwritten rules to
So,
life.
For everybody that doesn't know what's going on right now, why they're speaking so passionately, is because we have a fantasy basketball league, and in the fantasy basketball league, something happened. One of the,
No names,
managers,
no face, no case.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of the team owners,
Unnamed associate.
in our league
Unnamed associate.
was trying to, get Stephen Curry and Zion Williams for nothing. So it was like Norman Powell for Stephen Curry and
Right. It was like for nobody for your
and-
best player.
and like
But- This was the problem, is that it was collusion between more than two teams.
Yes.
It wasn't
Yeah,
just a guy cutting up
more
a dude
than
like,
two
yo, you
teams.
ain't in the playoffs, bro. Let me get your best player. There was like 3 teams that came together, and the 3 teams said, you know what? You're the best team, and you're going to the playoffs, and we're not. So we're going to give you our best players, and then you're going to have a big super team that goes into the playoffs. And you're going to take down all of the top guys who are in the playoffs, and then you win the trophy for the end of the season. And that's easy. That's like taking steroids and then going out and arm wrestling somebody a month later, right? That's you're cheating. It's like the Astros. I almost want to,
I want to know.
Let me stop.
I almost want to have a little face-to-face conversation.
It's crazy, bro.
I want
It's
to
crazy.
Leave in the comments or something, because I really want to know what everybody thinks about this.
Bro,
Who
it's
does
cheating.
fantasy?
Yeah, like if
You
you
know,
don't, you don't
it's cheating.
Because
right
I
before the
spoke-
playoffs
I
start.
spoke to the owner, and he feels very strongly that he did the right thing, and it's all about winning.
That
And
nigga's
all
wrong and strong.
But I feel like, again, like he said, you can't go out and take steroids and then arm wrestle somebody a month later, you know that you're gonna beat him because
Right.
you're stronger.
You're fixing the deck.
Yeah.
Anytime you try to fix the deck, if you fix the deck in a card game, what's that called? That's cheating.
Yeah.
Right? So he's trying to fix the deck in this game we call fantasy
Like that's
basketball.
that's basically like instead of the Boston Celtics getting Garnett and Ray Allen before the season started, building their team naturally,
They got him right before the
yeah,
playoffs.
They would have got him right before the playoffs,
Yeah.
and then they would have just ran.
I was
through
just gonna
everybody,
say.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
the
that's-
playoffs
that's
are about to
just-
start. That's like
Yeah.
LeBron going to
That's like Giannis about to go to the finals and goes, all right, well,
Steph Curry's coming to
I'm
the
about to go
Bucks
to the
now.
Lakers.
yeah.
yeah.
Joel and Ben Simmons are now in the
You know?
Bucks
Yeah.
going into the finals.
Yeah.
Right before the series starts.
Because like I could
it's crazy
see,
shit.
in fantasy, like that goes for football and everything. Whoever plays fantasy baseball or like whatever, I'm pretty sure it's
Yo.
just it's just like it leaves a bad
That shit
taste
is-
in the people that play the league. You know, when they're really hustling and grinding throughout the season to make it in the playoffs or try to make a run.
Tell him
And
you earned your one spot.
Hey,
I earned my one spot.
Yeah.
Word.
You
Nah,
know?
but there's a difference too, because there's
guess.
sometimes where you see trades go on, right, and somebody, you know, can get, oh, that's not a good trade, oh, that dude's getting robbed right there. But if you can talk your way and navigate a deal, thumbs up, 100%, take your
Yeah.
shit and run with it. But when you're sitting at the dinner table and then you guys decide that we're gonna make the Monstars and play Space Jam in 1 week, it's not happening.
No.
So you got brickwalled. I think the people spoke. It was vetoed. All
And
ways
that was the whole
possible.
thing.
And
You know-
so it wasn't just one person that felt like that. It was everybody
In
that
the
felt like
fantasy
that.
league, yo, listen though.
I'm proud of the
Listen,
league.
Listen.
Yeah, so am I. That's what I said.
Listen,
It's like Survivor. The
yeah.
tribe has spoken.
And
Your
look,
shit is done, my nigga.
if you have more than 10 teams in the league and 3 or 4 people, you know, veto it, then that's all it takes. You know, if only one person, you know, votes against it and then another person, it'll still go through. But if more than 3 people, or
Yeah,
3
it has to
people
be a 1/3
exactly,
majority.
you
Which
know.
actually, to be honest with you, bro, to me, it should be more. To me, it should be a majority. Majority would be more than 50%.
Yeah.
So in a
Yeah.
10-team league, you would need
For
6
at least-
people.
Yeah, at least
6 people to pass it. We only need 3 in our. I mean 4. We need 4 in our league. You know what I mean? It's just
So
crazy.
we don't want
bro.
something to happen, just us.
Bro, yeah, it could be us, and
But-
maybe we convince one other person, and it's
Yeah.
over.
You know,
You know?
But we didn't do
Crazy.
that.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that. Everybody seen it.
Yeah, I bet you
And
like
it
5.
was
I bet you
just
6
crazy.
people vetoed that. Cause I know I
But
did.
you know what? Between us, then, now we guaranteeing it's gonna be one of us to win it. Because they was plotting on us.
Yeah, nah, it's a
We're
fact.
the top 3 in
Right,
the
it's a
league.
fact.
We're the top 3 in our.
Yeah, it's a
in
fact.
our-
They was
in our
plotting
fantasy
to keep
league.
the trophy out of
Yeah.
one of our hands.
Yeah, nah.
So
they-
now,
plotting and
they wanted a
collusion
spot
going
at the
This
table.
is a declaration.
That's funny.
The
That's so
championship
crazy, bro.
comes from out of one of our hands.
Listen, Matthew and I could do that all the time, bro. There's been times in football season where it's like, yo, you know,
Yeah, you tried to do it last year. You couldn't do
I've never
nothing.
made a trade with
It was an inevitable force that was
Never-
coming
never made a
down
trade
those
with
tracks, Matt. You know that? And
Nah,
next football
football
year, it's going to be the
season was
same
Next
shit.
crazy,
football
bro.
year, we playing for bread in both leagues.
That's
next year.
football's
perfectly
weird
fine.
though, man. I don't feel
You
comfortable.
think
So you know that.
I don't feel
Let
comfortable
everybody know
betting in
that.
football.
So
or
nobody
anything.
feels no type of way about anything. It's bread on the line, so expect it.
And it
Expect it.
You are your real
Comes-
GM shit.
comes from a
Thank you
guy
for
who's
liking,
never got a
commenting,
trophy.
and subscribing to
Thank you very
Unofficial
much.
Experts,
You
FF Macho,
Yes, sir.
FF Scheme, and Danny Do.
offline.
We out here.
Till next week.
I remember last video, I didn't have it, but follow us.
Yo. Last video, yeah. Come on, man.